morning. Uh, Today is an opportunity for me to make this presentation, giving some insight about institutional innovation. I will present a review about some European countries and how we can learn something from them to apply in Japanese agriculture and rural area. My name is Valsen Rival. I'm a final year PhD student at Tokyo University of Agriculture. My major is agribusiness. My studies are mainly about farm market, farm business strategies, technology adoption for risk management, and business model and product development. While I was conducting review for my one of the chapters of my thesis, we found that Japanese students are generally low ranked in terms of entrepreneurial intention. So students in Japan, very low from them want to do business. Therefore, is that a problem? Well, it depends. Japan, as a high industrialized country, they have a high rate of employment. That means it is easy for Japanese students to find a job after the study. Therefore, they are less likely to think about creating a new venture. However, for some economic sectors, such as agriculture, it might be a problem. For example, the Ministry of Agriculture published that the number of new entrants in agriculture has been decreased year after year. In addition, we can see that since 2016, the number has been significantly decreased and fall under 20,000 in 2018. And the situation was not going any better until 2021. Is that a problem? Of course, it's a problem. Therefore, what could be done to set up a balance between rural development and high industrialized cities in Japan? How can a country like Japan make rural areas more attractive for youth? Besides, what can be learned from some European countries who succeeded to attract and keep more youth in their farm sector? This is about those three questions we are going to think in the next 7 minutes. Actually, actors in Japan, government, NGO, and private sectors, they are working on how to reverse this trend. Many projects and policies have been implemented. For example, they have the Afro-Innovation Initiatives, Agriculture Renaissance Project, Savor Japan Regions, and the Vision for Digital Garden City Nations. Those are just some examples of important projects. And they are not without result, because sometimes they experience some people moving from urban area to rural area. However, the most substantial relocation observed in Japan were after some big disasters. For example, after the global financial crisis, after the Eastern Japan earthquake, and recently after the COVID-19 pandemic. When we take a look at what's happened in the European Union, they have what they call the Common Agricultural Policy, CAP. And the main objective of this policy is to attract and sustain young farmers and new farmers and facilitate sustainable business development in rural areas. Young farmers in the European Union refer to farmers having at most 40 years old, while in Japan, young farmers can go until 49 years old. The CAP offers some support to youth. For example, they give complementary income support for youth. They have generational renewal. They give guarantee for young people who want to invest in agriculture. And 90% of the budget is for investment. And 9% of this amount is allocated to young people only. Japan as well has implemented some important policies. For example, they support for relocation and financial assistance. They have paid training for people who want to learn how to become a farmer. They have subsidy for childcare or even for house renewal. And recently, I've learned from the website of my university that some prefectures are ready to reimburse college fees for students who want to relocate in rural area. And as outcome, in Japan, the share of young in agriculture is just 4.9%. However, some European countries, such as Austria and Poland, they reach 10 to 14%. And recently, Poland even reached 20% of youth in agriculture. And when we take a closer look at the Poland case, a recent survey suggests that the most common factors that attract youth in agriculture are a solid knowledge of the rural world, ease to buy farmland and acquire farmland, and facilitating business related to agriculture. In addition, in Poland, they have career orientation for teenagers, mandatory internship for students, and they have exchange program with the US. Based on these observations, our hypotheses are, first of all, some people hesitate to move to the rural area because it is unknown to them. And the next is, people who know rural area, they need to be heard, supervised, and they need to be known as well. And the institutional innovation that we suggest is the long-term internship. Because in the European Union, many countries have mandatory internship for students. They have to do it in order to have access to the degrees. And it is usually 6 months or 1 year. Some countries have it until 18 months. But in Japan, internship is usually really short term. This table can show that most internships in Japan are just 2 days or 1 week. So the students don't have time to experience the area. Our suggestions is based on the theory of planned behavior, and in this theory, intention or behavior is based on 3 indicators: attitude to right behavior, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. And has some important attributes. We have sense of opportunity identification, having inspiring model, training, and experience. Our recent study on student entrepreneurial intention suggests that training, a search for autonomy, sense of opportunity identification, and having a model are relevant for students to decide to become entrepreneur in agriculture. Therefore, we need to work on the sense of opportunity identification of students and also emphasize on perceived behavioral control by training them, giving them the chance to do experience, and also give them the necessary resources so that they can invest in agriculture. In conclusion, we need to give a chance to people, to young farmers, young students in Japan to try the rural world. Because in Japan, employment is usually for life. So the people don't feel okay to try something and to give up after. But if they have a special program of long-term internship, they can try it and after decide to continue or to give up. Job hunting as well in Japan, it takes so much time. Sometimes final year students, they cannot work completely on the project. Some of them fail to graduate on time because of job hunting. So they can profit of this time of internship to continue their job hunting. And also after this time, they can decide to become employed or self-employed or to associate with a farmer or with the organization they are working for. And this is not only for national Japanese, it can also be for international students, because I have questioned a few of them. Students international, they are ready to do 6 months or 1 year of internship in Japan before they go back to their country or before they find a job in Japan. So this is some recommendation from the presentation. Thank you for your kind attention. If you have any question, you are welcome.
Thank you for your presentation. Now, let's get started questioning and discussion. Anybody has question? Okay. Sure. Please bring the mic to you.
Okay. Thank you for a very nice presentation. So yeah, it is like we need huge effort to encourage the young people to go to the agricultural sectors. Since you mentioned about the international also, have you ever heard about like a sister city, like twin city between like city in Japan with other city in outside Japan or something? Okay. Yes. Okay. So, is there any possibility that we can create like sister village? So, if we can encourage like farmer, for example, I think in different places in Southeast Asia, in Africa, there are also farmers, but they don't have any land. So if they can like experience to go to Japan, learn about the agriculture in Japan and then practices here. So it's also will help at least to raise the awareness of the people here also and the young people also. So the intercultural agriculture will develop. So my question is how your opinion about we can establish about the sister village in the future to encourage this kind of issues. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for your nice question. In Japan, I think they have what they call the TITP. They receive some people from other countries, for example, from Indonesia, and they live with a farmer like training. So the farmer train them, but it is something related to government policy. So anything we can suggest gonna be approved by government. But yes, the sister city is a good idea, but it may also have some barrier. If we take the presentation of Sinet yesterday, as we know that there is language and there is culture, it should be a structure, a policy. But yes, I think that could be a great thing to boost agriculture in Japan. As we know that the big issue is workforce, the workforce, as the people have become aging, older. So yes, this is could be a nice idea. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Is it okay? So anybody? Well, during the thinking, I have one question. The your suggestion that to make the young youth people to for example like to do the item or to at least have a interest on farming, and that would be very interesting. But on the other hand, which crop you are thinking about in when you make this suggestion? Because in Japanese agriculture means that they have a various kind of crops or the fruits or the vegetables, like then depend on their harvesting crops or the vegetables, the profit rate is way different. For example, like a fruits farming, sometimes it's tend to be get a much higher income compared to the rice farming. So which crop or which type of agriculture do you mainly thinking about?
Normally that will be a national project. It can be related to any crop. If the farmer has the ability to receive the student. As now in Japan, we also have corporate farming, so it would be easier for some organization who are doing farming to hire some student for internship. So any crop, all imported crop for Japan, such as rice, we're talking about a lot, wheat and citrus. So all crop is included. It will depend on the ability of the rural area to receive the intern and to make them experience the area.
Okay. If you think so, that I can give you some suggestion because that you also talks about the ITAM. So sometimes it was promoted by the central government or the local government, and some not that many people joined the movement, but actually we got a number of the people who did it and started farming. But in this case, most cases, it's not official, but unofficially, especially the prefectural government urges them to engage in, for example, strawberry nowadays, or the other like vegetables, not restaurant, because especially the reason why the strawberry is suggested these days. At this moment, the strawberry gets really good price compared to the other fruits or vegetables. And the way to grow is really organized, fully automated, so easy to enter the business and easy to get a good price. And that means that for youth people or the people who newly engaged in their farming needs, jump start. Well, they need enough income to survive, right? So the case that they unofficially always they have some recommended crops or some type of that. Like sometimes it must be the floriculture is also the big suggestion. So but it's unofficial. You cannot read from the governmental document. But sometimes or the many times they have those kind of recommendation about the crops. So when you make an interview to the officers at the local government or central government, I suggest you to also ask about which crop or which type of agriculture are you focusing on. Staff can make a new horizon for your research. That's just my comment.
Okay, so that's a really good comment. But what I think about that, if someone wanna become a new farmer, now the government can give some reason. But if it is just internship for 1 year or 6 months, there's no special crop. It will depend on which farmer is ready to receive the student. But if after this year the student wanna do business and farming and maybe want some support from the government, now the government will say, now I want you to invest in strawberry on something like that. That's a good thing. Thank you so much.
So, please she first, and then you. She first, please.
Uh, I would like to ask about the approach for the younger generations. Like you already talked about internship, maybe that's for the college students or the high school students. What about the younger ones, like the kids? Is there any specific approach from the Japanese government for that area? Or if there is not, do you have any idea or recommendation for that? Thank you.
Yes, I think they have something like that in Japan. Maybe not in all prefecture or all schools, but they give food in Japanese elementary school, for example. And some school have a special class about where the food is from. So it is a way to introduce them to farming. So we are not asking all young people to do farming, but we want them to be informed so that they can make a well-informed decision in the future. Yeah, but I think yes, they have some program like that. Maybe it need to be intensified, but yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
congratulations and thank you for an inspiring presentation, I think. But I just want to know about your opinion. It is possible to make a specificity regarding the agriculture. It is. I just wondering if you want to get the youth back to rural agriculture or specific or more general agriculture, because if we see at European countries like Netherlands and also Germany and also Italy, we are seeing that some youth giving some initiative to the urban agriculture, but it is not specific for some commercial agriculture or some kind like more rural agriculture. But you already say that the data is coming from Poland and not from the Netherlands or everything. But I just want an insight from your opinion. How about the urban agriculture and the youth? Because it's some kind of like an emerging initiative who also becoming increasing now. Thank you.
You talk about urban agriculture?
Urban agriculture.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you so much. A good question. In my presentation, we are focusing on rural revitalization. Okay, so urban agriculture is really interesting. It is for farming, for agriculture in general, but maybe it's not used for rural revitalization, because the problem we mentioned at the beginning is that young people, they are moving from the rural area to the cities. So most of them, they go to tech job, not really farming. Yes, urban agriculture will be a plus to the food safety. But if we want to revitalize rural area, we need the young people, not only in farming, also in other sphere of the economy, there's social job as well. But yes, urban agriculture is good. But for revitalization of rural area, we need the people back to the rural area. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I agree with that.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, so thumbs up. So we have to close this discussion. Thank you very much for your presentation. My assignment for the chair is passed to Professor Mori, but still I will do the facilitator. Mori Sensei, please.
From now, we will start the guest session. Okay. Today we welcome a special lecture, Associate Professor Dr. Gilang, from Pajajaran University in Malaysia. Today's presentation theme is heritage-based